everyone. So, I got hair in my mouth. Again, I've got hair in my mouth. Always. So, yeah, about 2 weeks ago, Jack turned 9 months old. So, which is crazy to think that he's been outside the womb as long as he was inside it. So, that's crazy to me. Or maybe I'm the only one who thinks about that kind of stuff, but... So anyway, yeah, so he turned 9 months old our very last day that we were in Texas, which was like 2 weeks ago. So this video is late, and I apologize for that, but so right before we left for Texas, I took him for his 9-month doctor's appointment. Luckily, he didn't have to have any shots this time. So he is, well, he was 24 pounds at that appointment. I just weighed him the other day, and he's 25 pounds already, so... and he is, I think, 28 inches long. So he actually is slowing down a lot with his growth, and especially with his weight. At 6 months, he was, I think, right at like 20 pounds. So he's gained like 4 pounds in the last 3 months. With him being mobile now, I think that's probably why his weight gain has slowed down so much, because he is on the move like constantly. Like from the minute he gets up till the minute he goes to bed, he is moving like constantly. Otherwise, he's, you know, totally healthy. The doctor didn't have any concerns. So he's got 2 teeth now. He got the first one when he was, yeah, he got both of them this month. He got one at like the very beginning of the month and then one at the very end. So he almost got the 2 teeth like a month apart, which kind of made this month a living hell as far as like teething goes, because he was just miserable for like pretty much the whole time. And he cut the tooth like right before we left for Texas, so he was finally like a happy baby again. He is so close to walking. He's already taken a few steps on his own, but he's not like just, you know, walking around like it's nothing yet. He still crawls everywhere to get around. Yeah, so he crawls to get around. He can stand really well if you hold him up and let go. Like, he will stand there for a long time and he won't even realize it. But the second he realizes he's standing and not holding on to anything, he plops his butt down on the floor. So I think really it's just all in his head, because he walks perfectly, like holding on to furniture and our hands, and like he will just scale around the house, just lightly, like barely touching anything, and you know, he just gets around that way. He does prefer to be upright and standing most of the time, and he really only, you know, if there's something he can't grab onto, he will just get down, crawl to the next thing, and then continue like scaling all the furniture. And he took his first, you know, unassisted steps while we were in Texas in Laura's kitchen, so that was really cool. And he's done it a few more times since we've been home for my husband too, so that was nice. I know he was kind of sad he missed it, but he's gotten to see it a couple times since then. I already did a breastfeeding update not too long ago, like a couple weeks or so ago, and so I don't have a whole lot to update, you know, with that. Still nursing. A couple things I mentioned were that I was trying to, you know, taper my supply down so that I'm not, you know, overproducing and making just what he needs. And it's been a couple weeks of trying that, and we're pretty much to that point, and I'm pretty happy with where we are, actually. I basically don't pump before bed anymore. I just got rid of that one pumping session, and I think that pretty much did the trick. I still overproduce a little bit overnight, and I do still have to pump first thing in the morning when I wake up, after I feed him, of course. But by the end of the day, he just, I don't know, I'm just on empty by the very end of the day, and these last few days he gets really crabby and cranky, and I've had to, you know, make him a bottle before bed. And so basically I'm just using the milk that I pump in the morning, and I end up giving it to him that night as a bottle. So I'm pretty much making exactly what he's eating and not anymore. You know, I'm pretty happy with where things are. I think I've said that like 5 times. Yay, redundancy! And he's doing really well with solids. I mean, in the last 2 weeks alone, he's gotten a huge interest in them. When he was teething last month, he just, he would not, he was just not into them at all for a while there. So yeah, I've started making his baby food again. For a while there, he just wasn't eating enough of it for me to, justify making it myself. Because I would, make these awesome batches of baby food and I'd put them in the freezer, and he would just go so long and just not, really be eating it, and I'd have to throw it out. Not because it went bad, but because it got freezer burned and, it just didn't taste as fresh. So, yeah, so I was doing jarred foods there for a while, and also kind of gave me an idea of the kind of foods he did like and like the stage of food he was ready for. And once I saw that he liked something, I decided to, go to the grocery store and just make it myself. So that's what has been working for us. But yeah, he'll eat. I'll nurse him in the morning first thing, and he'll nurse pretty much. He'll nurse several times a night. He gets up usually at least one or two times. He'll get up at like maybe 2:30 or 3 a.m. and then again around 5:30 a.m. or even 7 a.m. And he's been sleeping till as late as 9 a.m., depending on how late he goes to bed the night before. And as always, I'm trying to get him to go to bed earlier, and it actually seems to be working lately. Like last night, he actually fell asleep right before 10 o'clock, which, it was like 9:50 something, so it was more like 10 o'clock, but the fact that it was still before 10, like, I can't remember the last time he's done that, and that just made me so happy because, I want to have him up and, ready to go and have our day started by 8 or 9 a.m. at the latest. And it's better for me, and as far as like my mood and like depression, I just do so much better when I feel like I'm being productive with my day. And then, when we go to bed late, we wake up late, and by the time I'm up, I just feel so unproductive, and it just really bugs me. So this is a schedule that's going to work best for us, and he seems to be doing really well with it. He's, obviously still a baby, and, if he's not ready to sleep through the night, that's fine. If he needs to eat during the night, he's a big baby, so it doesn't really surprise me that he would need to eat once or twice during the night. And, especially as my supply changes, he still sleeps close to anywhere between 10 and 11 hours every, out of 24 hours in a day, he sleeps 10 to 11 of those. Probably I'd say 9 of those are his nighttime hours, and he usually takes maybe a couple half-hour naps. Sometimes if he sleeps in and doesn't get up and he sleeps, like 10 hours at night, he really won't nap that day. And those are interesting days for me, because by the end of them he's just melting down, and I just can't wait for bedtime on those days. But yeah, he's doing great. When he was teething last month, it was so hard because he falls asleep nursing. He either falls asleep nursing, which is 9 out of 10 times, if not more, or he'll fall asleep being rocked by my husband. And I try to have him fall asleep eating, just so I know that he's nice and full before he goes to bed. So he usually falls asleep in my arms rather than just laying him down and having him fall asleep that way. And I don't mind doing it at all. I love snuggling with him, and it's what works for us, and it's what makes him happy, so that's what we do. So what I have to do is I have to wait till he's asleep, and then just try so carefully to lay him down in his bed without waking him up. And there's that second where you lay him down and he kind of wakes up and he cries a little bit, and you're just like, please go back to sleep, please go back to sleep. And like most of the time he does, but when he was teething, it was horrible, because I would finally get him back to sleep after like literally hours of him just screaming his head off at night. And then I'd go to lay him down, and I'd be so excited because I could finally go back to bed, and the second I'd lay him down, he would just be up and crying, and we'd have to do it all over again. Like, teething seriously is like the hardest part of motherhood so far. At least with him, he just does not have a very high pain threshold. I guess he's just really uncomfortable, and I guess I don't really blame him, because his teeth, he was teething for months. And so it was just really hard on him, hard on everybody. So I guess personality-wise, he's becoming more curious about other people and other kids. He's not around. I try to bring him out in public as much as possible. It's mostly just with family. But the few times that he's been around other kids, like we have a daycare at my gym that I've taken him to a couple times. And he actually did really well with those kids. He did really well with Laura and Leighton's kids, too, Trip and Declan. He loved playing with Trip. And, yeah, he's just been really curious about other people. He went through a stage there for a while where he just wanted mommy and daddy. And he was just really shy around other people. And, like, right before we went to Texas, that seemed to kind of change because he was at the airport. Like, I had to keep him from calling up to complete strangers and, like, trying to, like, crawl into their laps and everything. I was just like, you know, oh, let's not crawl up this person's leg. And, yeah, so he is in this really friendly, fun stage where he just wants to make friends with everybody. You know, and of course he always looks back at mama and makes sure I'm still there, but for the most part he does great. So what else? Oh, and so yeah, with his mobility and his curiosity, he's been getting into absolutely everything. I pretty much don't even try to clean up the house until he goes to bed anymore, because there's just no point, because he will go around and just tear through everything again. I'm finally starting to put some, you know, baby proofing things on some of the cabinets. Some of the stuff, the dangerous, like, chemicals and stuff aren't within his reach anyway, but it's more just a matter of me not wanting to have to pick up after him constantly. Like, if I'm trying to load and unload the dishwasher, like, I can literally get maybe a couple dishes in or out before he crawls over and tries to, like, stick his hand in there. So he does pretty much the same thing. You know, if the fridge is open, you can get maybe a couple things out before he's over there trying to pull things off the shelf, which can get really messy. Same thing with the toilet. Like, if I'm spraying a poopy diaper, I have to, like, put him at the end of the hallway, run to the bathroom, and, you know, you can hear him crawling after you down the hall, and he'll be right behind you. And I have to, like, race to spray all the poop off before he gets in there and starts trying to stick his hands in and splash in the poopy water, which is so gross. And what I have to do is, like, right before he's about to touch the water, I spray his hand so he, like, pulls it back. And then he thinks that's a game, and then he starts laughing. So, oh, and then with the dryer, too. That one's not as bad because he can't really do as much damage with that. But he loves opening the dog cages and letting the dogs out, which is kind of actually pretty funny to watch. So what else? Oh, so a couple weeks ago we started taking a swim class. It's twice a week. We actually just got home from there not too long ago. The very first swim class, he was clinging to me the whole time. I think he's like the second youngest baby there. Everybody, I mean, the instructor, like, talks to him and asks him questions and tells him to, like, do all this stuff. And I don't think she realizes that he's only 9 months old, because she, like, looks at him and, like, expects an answer, or, like, she'll say, blow bubbles, or kick your feet, and, like, she doesn't get that, like, he doesn't have a clue what she's talking about, which is kind of funny. I feel like everyone thinks he's, like, this underdeveloped, like, slow like, toddler, when really he's just a really big 9-month-old. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with that. So, yeah, it's crazy. Hi. He's like, who are you talking to? Who are we talking to? He's like, it's crazy because he's going to be turning a year old in 2 months. So I'm already starting to think about his first birthday, and so we're trying to think of a theme, and I think we're either going to go with bugs, since we call him Bug, or puppies, since he loves puppies so much. Well, he loves his puppies. Are you going to turn 1? What should we do? You going to have a birthday cake? You don't stop, do ya? You going to take a step? No, you got to take a step. I guess at this stage in the game, I don't really need to do like postpartum updates about me anymore because nothing's really changing. And I already pretty much covered all the lady business in the breastfeeding update. Yeah, every month as it goes on, my cycle keeps getting more and more regular, so I guess that'll be good when we start trying to conceive again. Every now and then I'm just like, I'm gonna cut off all my hair. This is so annoying because he pulls on it constantly. And it's still shedding too, by the way. Like 9 months postpartum and I still lose a bunch of hair every time I'm in the shower. Oh God, I have such bad ADD, this is not even funny. What was Mommy talking about? She wants to cut her hair. Oh! People are starting to, I'm starting to get asked a lot when we plan to start trying to conceive number 2. Are you walking? Oh my God. And, you know, Derek and I decided that we were thinking anywhere between 2 and 3 years apart would be a good way to space our kids. That means if we want them at least 2 years apart, we need to wait till at least September of this year, at least. So pretty much anytime after that, we'll probably start to be, you know, kind of in the baby making mode. I don't know, we could wait till maybe closer to like December or maybe even early next year to really start seriously trying. I definitely have my moments where I do have baby fever, but then when he's teething or having a bad night or he's just like, you know, crazy amounts of energy and not napping very much because he doesn't sleep that much. He's just one of those kids that does not sleep very much. So when he's having, you know, a really hyper day and I'm just like so exhausted, I'm just like, oh, why on earth would I want another one? Of course we want to have more kids and we will have more kids, or at least one more, but I'm just like, not right now. Like, that's the last thing I want is to be pregnant right now or have another kid. Anyways, we'll talk more about the whole TTC thing when it gets closer. But for now, he's my baby. You're my baby for now. You're my baby for now. Yeah. He doesn't really look like a baby anymore, but he's definitely still my baby. And I'm trying to soak in these last few months of babyness as much as I can. Oh, it makes me so sad to think that he's not going. When he, oh, don't eat that. So yeah, guys, sorry this update was so long, but it's been a couple months since we really did a proper update. So, we just want to say hi and we love you all and see you later. Can you say bye-bye? See you later. Bye, YouTube. No? Okay. Alright. Bye, guys.